Super Idol de Charo, donated 10 by Chung for the.
So there is a new art. Yeah. Okay, pretty much all my suspicions and everyone's suspicions turn out to be true. Obviously, a new article came out about Dragon Age from Jason Schreier, very important person on Dragon Age, Veilguard, and well, he reveals everything that went wrong with Dragon Age during the development. So, yeah. Okay. Here are the highlights. Oh boy. Bioware was under immense pressure to succeed after the failure of Anthem and Andromeda with the Veilguard. God, just call it Veilguard, bro. Holy shit. Oh my god, that's the one thing, that they could get right. The only thing they could get right. Call it Veilguard instead of Veil. Like, what? Okay, anyways. It's just so stupid. To stay afloat. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? I mean, those two were, and I watched some reviewers talk about it years later. They're like, it wasn't. Some of them, Anthem was like that new one, right? Yeah, a good universe from what I heard, but everything else about it, not the best. I heard the combat was okay, but yeah. Anyways, I didn't play either of these, and then Andromeda. I don't play Mass Effect. I haven't played it yet. I got the Legendary Edition, whatever the fuck, right? But I didn't play it yet. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it before the new one comes out, obviously. But yeah, my dad still plays it. He's a boomer gamer, right? So a lot of slop he can consume, except for Starfield. Yeah, yeah. Can't get him with Starfield, bro. No, but he's a huge Mass Effect player. Like he loves Mass Effect. He plays that bitch every day. Mass Effect and Call of Duty every day. Downstairs, loud as shit. Oh my gosh, cannot sleep. Anyways, yeah. Original concept, codename Joplin, was a smaller single player experience. That's what it should have been, you know. EA forced to pivot to a multiplayer live service format. Codename Morrison, 27. Yep, we heard about that. Yep, and that was the beginning of the end. They wanted to put their dick right into Bioware, slap it all over. Like they just wanted full control, bro. And that's why we got what we have today, right? I mean, there's a lot of shit wrong with the game. I mean, of course, we can blame devs and shit from Bioware for multiple things too. But them trying to make it live service fucked everything up. That I mean, if they didn't do that, none of this would have been happening, right? So you just gotta. That is the thing that just, GG's. Creative director Mike Laidlaw resigned over the shift. I would have too. Yeah, like I'm not making some fucking live service Dragon Age game. Are you fucking out of your mind? What the hell? Live service Dragon Age game. Listen to that. Fucking cringe, bro. Yeah, it was hard to say slowly because I was like internally dying of cringe. No, that's not how it works. Why? Like, they have that little multiplayer in Dragon Age Inquisition. You know how that turned out. Ain't nobody play that shit. I played it a little bit. I didn't superly, dislike it. But, obviously, if not everybody's playing that shit, right? It was dead. It was completely dead. Even during, or close to the launch of Inquisition, not too long after. It's dead, bro. It's cool if they want a multiplayer on the side. They can do some Halo or Call of Duty shit. Have the main campaign be the main thing. Or, Mass Effect. Make the campaign the main thing. You can have a little multiplayer shit, too. Get some extra monies or whatever that you want. But there's a reason why nobody played that shit. Anyways, I mean, it wasn't too bad. It's just Dragon Age at heart is a single-player game. That's what everyone buys it for. You got Halo. People buy it for the campaign and the multiplayer, right? Call of Duty. I mean, it's really just multiplayer now. But you get it. It's just certain games where it works out or it doesn't work out. It could have worked out. I mean, but no, no, yeah, single player game, guys, single player game. Uh, all right. So Matt Goldman replaced him and aimed for a lighter, pulpy tone fitting for online gameplay. Yeah. Thanks, Matt Goldman. Thanks. Thanks, buddy. Uh, and I mean, right, I mean, Inquisition, we were kind of guessing, like, oh, it's gonna be kind of similar, right? You know, high fantasy type shit. But it was still dark in the places where it needed to be dark, right? Like, you know, game of the year for a reason. I mean, it had issues, right? But game of the year for a reason, you know? Pretty solid. Pretty solid. Anthem's failure in 2019 raised internal doubts about repeating mistakes. Yeah. I mean, buddy, it's a live game. You took, you know, and this is during the time, right? I don't know when they mentioned this, but I think in 2017 they moved like all the motherfuckers working on Dragon Age. They moved them to work on Andromeda and Anthem. Right, so the single player devs, right, specializing in single player RPGs, were made to do Anthem and Andromeda, whatever the fuck. So I mean, yeah, they were kind of working on what Dragon Age was gonna be like. Still, it was only a small group of people, maybe like a handful, right? But they weren't doing anything like seriously, like coding and shit, right? They was just getting concepts and shit because everybody else was on the other two games, right? So that was already a GG, right? Let's see. Pandemic disruptions and leadership resignations further complicated development. Yeah, that's another one too. In 2020, the project was abruptly pivoted back to a single-player game without proper pre-production. Yes. The team was given just 18 months to overall structure and rewrite the story. So, I want to know what the story was like before, right? I want to know, even if it was a live service, right? We're talking about like the story, right? It just, yeah. What was it gonna be? What was it gonna? It might have been better than this, right? Even though it was like a live service type shit, right? But or maybe worse. But I'm curious to what it was. What did they say? 2020 project was abruptly pivoted back to a single player. Yeah, so 2020. I don't know when in 2020. So without proper pre-production. So they basically had like 4 years at most to like pretty much make the base game, essentially. Which is, yeah, that's not a terrible time frame, right? I mean, you know, a lot of games be taking like 5, 6 plus years now, but 4 years is that's not bad. It's not bad. You know, especially considering, you know, Jesus Christ, somebody making a lot of noise, but especially considering Dragon Age 2 is supposed to be a DLC. They made that in 1.5 years. Yeah, a full-on game, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was supposed to be a DLC. You could kind of tell, but 1.5 years. You know, a lot of the dungeons and shit, the environment, very samey, very plain. But it's still a full-on game. And they did that shit in 1.5 years. But you can tell how, yeah, samey areas, very, very samey. Yeah, 1.5 years. It's still, I actually like it for what it is. It's definitely not my best track. I think in terms of like characters and shit, I don't really like them all at all. The only person I like is what's that pirate girl name? I keep thinking it's Josephine, bro. It's not fucking Josephine. I forgot her name, but yeah, she's probably the only one that I liked. Oh, Aveline, but Aveline's pretty cool too, but that's about it. Everybody else I just do not like. Alright, so yeah, 18 months. The structure, rewrite the story. Yeah. At that point, though, I mean, live service, I feel like they might as well just kept going because what we got, nah, they should have just kept going. They should have just kept going, right? And then we could have had a proper, I don't know if it followed the story of what was supposed to happen after Inquisition, but we probably could have got a proper Dragon Age 4 after that live service bullshit. I don't know, but yeah, they probably could have made more money and well, give us more reasons to have a Dragon Age 5, which probably won't happen ever. I probably don't even want it to happen unless EA like is not in charge at all. Yeah. I will not have faith in a new Dragon Age unless the niggas that made, you know, the first 3, even okay, maybe a couple from, you know, Veilguard, right? They have their own studio. They're completely you know, not under EA's wing anymore. If EA's still making a Dragon Age, they still, you know, publisher in charge, whatever the fuck, I'm not gonna trust it at all. It's probably gonna be dog shit. Because they just fucked this up, bro. Tight timelines led to rush decisions and a lack of how much, damn, okay. I'm going down for real. Timelines led to rush decisions and a lack of meaningful choice and gameplay. Well, here's the thing, I guess, but when we're talking about okay, rush decisions, but a lack of meaningful choice in gameplay. Oh yeah, that's definitely true. But you could have had like, right? So there's an issue, right, with the dialogue. Okay, I'm specifically talking about the dialogue. In every Dragon Age game, there's a dialogue that, you know, says something. You choose the dialogue. Oh, I like oranges, and then the dialogue, the fucking person says, I like apples. That's not what I fucking chose. What the hell? That's for like pretty much every Dragon Age game, and this latest one, Veilguard, is absolutely atrocious, right? Every dialogue option is the same thing. It leads to the same thing. There's no point. Why do I have a dialogue wheel? Just fucking let the game roll. Like, you know? Yeah. Yeah. The only choices you can really make in the game is your fucking hairstyles, and that's about it. That's the only choices that you know, that you made yourself. You made yourself, essentially, right? It's just fucking terrible. Like, even when it's rushed and shit, right? Give me different dialogue options. Don't let it all be the same thing, bro. I don't care if that shit's rushed. That was terrible. Multiple delays didn't allow redesigns, just extensions of flawed structures. Oh, Lord, okay. Yikes, okay. I mean, okay, it was probably, because, you know, Mark Dar was talking about, like, trying to get extensions and shit for, like, Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age 3. Thank God he got it for Inquisition, because, yeah. God damn. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Feedback from alpha testing in 2022 pointed to a lack of impactful narrative. Yeah. I don't know, would that be, like, enough time to, like, fucking, from 2022, right? To change shit up? I mean, I feel like it could have been, right? I mean, because, no... I mean, they're talking about a lack of... Okay, so, yeah, there was really only 3 big narrative decisions, right? We're gonna spoil, because nobody gives a shit anymore about the game. What was that shit? The first one was the fucking choose which city you want to help, and the person fucking hates you. The person that you didn't help out hates you for the rest of the game, even though it was a logical choice to choose whichever one you did, right? Just fucking stupid. Terrible game design. And then you have the little, with the Grey Warden little fight thing. You decide that with the bald guy. They're always bald. And then the shit was soulless. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all the impactful decisions. And maybe that shit in the beginning of the game where, you know, that guy, like, you can decide to leave him to die or, like, give him to the Grey Wardens, or like let him go, and then he goes to the Grey Wardens. I mean, sure, whatever. I mean, it's nothing crazy. Like, it's not really. He's not really important to the fucking game at all. So yeah, I feel like even with the time constraints, they still could have, fixed it. Expedition 33 was made in four years essentially, right? And no more than 5. There's only 33 of them. Like, what the fuck? It was pretty. I mean, it's pretty straightforward linear game type shit, right? But if they can make that with 33 niggas, right, in pretty much the same amount of time, maybe even less, I don't think it's an excuse. But you do have the EA niggas like fucking controlling everything. So yeah, we'll just move on. Last minute attempts to reintroduce meaningful choices were shallow and constrained. Shallowed and constrained. Yeah, but I mean, were they attempted? Were they actually put into the game? Yeah, whatever. I mean, we can tell all the fucking choices they were just bad. Like, it was pretty much like a fucking, like, The Walking Dead. It is pretty much like The Walking Dead game. Like, no, even in The Walking Dead, I feel you can do more in there than this fucking game. What the hell? But I'm talking about, like, the game is pretty much like a movie type shit, right? It's like playing for you. What was that other game called that came out like last year? That Redhead. It's like a 5-hour game. It's pretty much a movie. That's what I'm talking about. Bioware brought in the second team from the Mass Effect project in 2023 to help finish the game. They should have been brought those niggas in. I'm sorry. I mean, what else are they working on? I mean, the new Mass Effect, yeah, but like, still, man. Like, if they had the fucking Dragon Age niggas had to help out the Mass Effect niggas for like a good close to 5 years, pretty much stop a lot of the production with Dragon Age. They should have came back and helped our asses. What the fuck? But that just tells you how bad shit was going to be. Mass Effect leaders rewrote and added new scenes, including the game's emotional finale. Okay, I wonder which scenes they rewrote, because the game's still bad, right? But they probably fucking fixed a lot of what was happening. Dragon Age leads were frustrated, denied similar resources, and excluded from key meetings. What? Wait. Dragon Age leads were frustrated, denied similar resources, and excluded from key meetings. Oh! So the Mass Effect niggas just fucking took over. And oh shit, oh lord. Oh god, oh, what a fucking shit fest, okay. Wow. Huh. Oh, wait, I missed one. Okay, we're on the second team, finished the game. Okay, yeah, I missed this one. Cultural clashes arose. Dragon Age team was laid back. Mass Effect team was top-down and structured. There you have it. Yeah. Hopefully Mass Effect is good. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, right? Dragon Age team laid back. I kind of believe it. I believe that. I think they had plenty of time to change a lot of shit. In terms of choices, right? In terms of choices, okay, let's not talk about like extra content to do in the game and shit, right? Fuck that. Let's talk about the fucking dialogue and choices. The main shit about the game, right? Crazy. Let's see. Frustrated. Okay, yeah, there we go. Long-standing resentment emerged over EA favoring Mass Effect internally. Yeah, because, I mean, that's the thing, though, right? Because Mass Effect is the more mainstream game. They're more ahead of Dragon Age, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's just how it is. People prefer shooters instead of, like, fucking mage fingers and zappy and lightning and shit like that. That's just how it is. So of course EA is gonna fucking like the Mass Effect niggas. Yeah. Yeah, and also they have like multiplayer in their games, so I don't know if they're making money off of that, but if they look at the numbers of people still playing the game, it's probably more Mass Effect niggas playing. So EA loves numbers. Original multiplayer version's snarky tone felt Outdated? Snarky. Outdated. Oh, like the little clapbacks and shit. That honestly, okay, I'm probably with the Dragon Age niggas on this one. That was probably, yeah, like fucking old Dragon Age humor and shit. The little purple dialogue thing on the wheel. Yeah, that's probably what they probably got rid of a lot of that shit. Yeah. Okay. Concerns it would resemble Forspoken. Well, it was even worse than Forspoken, and that's an insane thing to say, but it was. Voice actor striking overtime demands hindered these changes. Yeah, I remember that shit. Initial trailer looked like Fortnite alienating RPG fan. It did look like Fortnite. In the beginning, I was excited because I didn't fucking care. Like, it's a new Dragon Age game. Let's fucking go. It did look like Fortnite, though. Marketing failed to properly convey the game's actual tone and genre. That is true. I mean, it did look like another fucking hero shooter, like deadass, Another Overwatch copycat. Bioware's future. Bioware contributes around 5% of EA's annual revenue. EA primarily profits from sports and shooter games. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why they like Mass Effect more. Analysts say EA may continue supporting Bioware due to the potential payoff of hit RPGs. Well, okay, but let them have their fucking freedom and stop fucking, trying to control that shit. However, its long decline raises real questions about whether EA will ultimately shut it down. A lot of the issues that like arose, okay, yeah, the fucking the woke and the dialogue and shit, yeah. Well, no, when you think about that, the Mass Effect niggas did the last second changes. Okay, maybe I'm a little scared for Mass Effect. I don't know. I'm 50-50, right? Like it's not the same. It's not the same people, bro. Most of the Dragon Age motherfuckers were gone when Veilguard came out, right? There was still some left, right? That's why I'm questioning, like, why the fuck was the dialogue and the lore destroyed and shit like that. Maybe the Mass Effect niggas did it. I don't fucking know. Maybe EA had a hand in it. Or maybe the devs, did it themselves. So it's just, I knew this shit was going to happen, right? It's just a lot of blame game going around. But again, right? Like, it's still, at the end of the day, shitty game. Let me finish this off. It will shut it down. If they shutter the doors tomorrow, I wouldn't be totally surprised. I wouldn't be either. Yeah, it seems like this game's development was a disaster in every way, and the blame lies at EA forcing the live service structure and then reverting it, wasting so much time and talent that not even letting them fully start over. What a mess. Yeah, they wasted a whole fucking 6 years. 6 years. They wasted at least 6 years of development cycle. Fucking reversing, moving them to the make Anthem and Andromeda, moving the teams over and shit. Yeah. Ultimately, overall, I mean, I have my fucking qualms about each one of these groups. The fucking Mass Effect niggas, the Dragon Age niggas, and then EA, right? They all fucked it up. EA was the first to start the fuck ups, right? But they all, yeah. Mass Effect, I don't know, because they said, they got structure and shit. I appreciate that. I do. But if the fucking dude said, oh yeah, they did the last second changes, to the fucking, added new scenes, emotional finale. Finale was whatever at that point. I played the game just to see how it turned out, essentially. We've been waiting 10 years for this shit, so I just needed to finish that bitch out. I really want to know what scenes were rewrote by Mass Effect motherfuckers. Like, I want to know everything, bro. Like, what? Who's responsible, man? But I mean, blame goes around with all of them. But essentially, the main culprit is EA. It really is. And they're only, like, the game is still only sticking around, you know, not completely being shuttered, because you got Expedition 33, Baldur's Gate, all these amazing RPGs. Expedition 33 probably gonna be Game of the Year, or KCD 2, right? But yeah, you got KCD 2 also. Like all these RPGs, it's because they had freedom, and hopefully EA realizes that these games, you know, made by these motherfuckers turned out well because they had creative freedom and nobody fucking, you know, sniffing down their backs and shit, you know, and trying to change shit up, making everything live server is like, no, we just want a good game, we want a good story, that's it, that's all. It shouldn't have been that hard. Like, you have the lore and shit right there, and they just fucking completely obliterated it. Half of Thetis is fucking gone now. Thanks a lot, guys. It should have been so fucking easy, bro. You know, and I saw the concept art of, like, the Inquisitor. Like, we were gonna play as the Inquisitor in the beginning, but then they switched that shit up. I'm like, bro, like, please. Like, why the fuck did they do this, man? Like, it's crazy. Seems like the average big company game development cycle these days. Yeah. 10 years to make a fucking game. Cultural classes arose. Dragon Age team was laid back. Mass Effect team was top-down structured. This part gives me a small glimmer of hope. Massive. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't... You know, probably Mass Effect, you know... They rewrote some scenes. Is it because they were shitty? The Dragon Age team made them shitty, and they're trying to make them less shitty, or did the Mass Effect team make them shitty? I don't know, but yeah, hopefully we get more info. But I actually have more hope for Mass Effect motherfuckers, right? For those devs, you know, they got Mike Gamble and shit, right? I have more hope to them than the Dragon Age devs. Like, I believe them more, low-key. I would believe them more. You know, if they went out and said some shit, I'd believe them more. Way more. Concerns that would resemble Forspoken led to last-minute dialogue rewrites. Some of the dialogue ended up being just as bad. No, it was worse. Not just as bad. It was terrible. All that may be true, but the forced LGBTQ shit that was shoved down players' throats is not EA's fault. Dragon Age has always been Dragon Age has always been... It's always been gay. It's always been gay. I mean, definitely with the, Tosh's, little story arc or whatever. That was immediately when I met Tosh, I just oh my god, I hated them, bro. Immediately. I was so fucking annoyed. I actually prefer Sarah from Dragon Age Inquisition than Tosh, which is a crazy thing to say, but I do. Yeah, that was what was that being shoved down the throat? Not really. I mean, it wasn't a main quest, right? It's a fucking companion quest, right? But I was just annoyed how it just played out. Like, I'm just like, okay, bro, right? Like, in general, I don't care what you are. I don't care. I don't care. But the way just everything just added, it's just no. It was a fucking headache. On a more positive note, at least Mass Effect sounds like it's coming along. But yeah, Mass Effect is going. I think they got it. Right? I don't think they had to change anything with their shit. They just keep the same structure they've been having, fucking campaign, and, like, yeah, add the little multiplayer. I think they just started adding multiplayer since Mass Effect 3, but, like, my dad loves that shit. Yeah, I heard, you know, people like, you know, it's like, it's okay, but, like, you know, there's a base for that, right? There's a player base for that shit, so it's not terrible. If Mass Effect 5 fails, that's the end of Bioware. Yeah. The obsession with live service models has done an insane amount of damage. It has. It literally ruined the fucking franchise. None of this is why DA failed. I'm pretty sure a lot of this is why DA failed. So bad management and decisions, and not because of woke, as expected. No, I believe, on a real note, it's both of this shit. It's mainly the management, right? It's mainly management. Because, I mean, sure, you have woke shit. I mean, Dragon Age's always been woke, right? But sure, you have woke shit in the game, but the game was just bad. It was just bad. Terrible game design, terrible structure. They destroyed the lore. I mean, the combat. I don't talk about the combat too much. It was okay. I mean, obviously, I would rather have combat from any of the other 3 Dragon Ages, right? But I was just like, okay, you know, I played hundreds of games before, so I'm not like too alien to that type of combat, right? It's okay. I somewhat enjoyed it, but then, you know, I'm just like, you know, it's the type of combat where I'll just take it once and that's it, right? I'm not gonna replay the game just to get into the combat. And more importantly, like the lore, I'm not gonna replay the game. This is the one Dragon Age where I just can't replay it. I just can't replay it because it's not Dragon Age. It's not Dragon Age, bro. You play Dragon Age for the storylines, the lore, the gameplay and shit, right? And the shit you can do in the game. It's just not Dragon Age, bro. It's just not Dragon Age. I'll tell you from an actual Dragon Age fan what went wrong. Gender dysphoria. No Dragon Age keep to implement previous world saves. Yup. X and current devs attacking true fans. Okay, yeah. Gender. I don't really give a shit about that. That's the thing, bro. Oh my god. There's real problems with the game. Okay, there's real problems, right? Besides it being a therapist simulator. Okay, right. Well, that was also another thing, but the therapist simulator with the dialogue and shit, and then the gender dysphoria, they're mainly talking about like Tosh. That's not even the main part of the game. It's just like a little side fucking companion quest that you can choose to do or not, right? Like, yeah, I got fucking annoyed by it. Sure, it's a headache, right? But it's not the main issue, right? Right, like, if we get rid of that shit, the game is still dog shit, so that's it. We're gonna end it here. I'm gonna go live. Yeah, I stream on Twitch, by the way. Go follow. Even can follow. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. We're gonna hear more and more about what happened with Veilguard, as time goes on. Hopefully, EA realizes the actual issues and the problems and who started the problems. Gotta look themselves in the mirror, but yeah, it's just a combination of the combat not being the same. Sure, whatever, it's not really anything, but destroying the lore and the story, right? That's the one thing. The dialogue options and the choices in the dialogue actually not meaning shit, not leading anything. Yeah, the Dragon Age Keep, you know, you only have 3 choices, and one of them is like a fucking romance choice. Like, a lot of people don't. I mean, there's like fucking, you know, the soulless niggas, right? The egg supremacy motherfuckers like that shit. But, right, so, whatever. But there's still 3 choices compared to, like, you know, having 15 plus choices in the last 3 games that you can fucking carry over, right? There's a lot of choices to make out the world. Even though it doesn't really superly change the main story because it wants to, you know, they wanted to make it in the, you know, a direction, right? That's fair enough, right? They ain't take no chances in Veilguard. Absolutely horrendous. Yeah. What else? About? I mean, those are the main things. Destroy the lore, have no choices, shitty dialogue, not gameplay. Well, I guess gameplay. Or it's really just the combat being mid, and not being the same as other games. The environments were fine, whatever. I actually liked how it was more, you know, more like Dragon Age Origins, where it's not like super open world. I love that shit. But the worlds, right? You go to the city, there's nobody to talk to, nobody to interact with. They just say random voice lines. And there's a bunch of niggas trying to get your coins and shit, like the homeless on the ground. Please spare a coin. That's the only thing you can do. Spare a coin and like pet random fucking cats. I mean, that's cool and all, but like, who really gives a damn at the end of the day when the game is not gaming? It's not gaming. The game isn't gaming. Type shit. So yeah, it just felt like a it was a clusterfuck. Yeah. I mean, I already have a gazillion Dragon Age videos. Go watch them. I went into detail. I did a review. I talked so much about Dragon Age. It's just I'll just end it right here.
Shot at a black man and took his shoes. Customized my AR like a Black Ops 2. Just scammed a white kid out of some Gorilla Glue. I don't wanna fuck this bitch, she smell like poo-poo.